What's up, YouTube world? I'm Marcus.
And I'm Tony. We're the Hugging Hikers, and on today's Adventures of the Hugging Hikers, we
are at Stonewall Falls hiking and biking trail. It says it is 4-ish miles, depends on which data you found online. It is a little treacherous drive trying to get up here, so
some serious ruts, so make sure you have a 4-wheel drive.
Or at least a vehicle that's high-centered. It is in Tiger, Georgia. So far, so good. I mean, we're just getting started, and this is kind of what we're looking at. And we'll see what we get into. Hopefully, we find some people, we get some hugs. If not, hopefully we at least get some beautiful footage for you guys. But until we find something cool or run into some people, we'll be back.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands, strong like a tree, there's root.
Well, we did pass some people. They seemed interested, but then we saw this little side detour. This being U.S. forestry land. Guys, you can camp out here if you're into backpacking and stuff like that. And what's cool is big open area, huge, beautiful trees, and a little beach. And creek, river, creek, brook running right beside this awesome little camp spot. And the reason I said creek, brook, river, who knows, depends on where you're from, what you'd call this thing. To me, it's a little river, but you know, different strokes, different folks. It's whatever you want to call it. Tony over there taking pictures. Which is what she does, and she is way better at it than me. If you've made it this far, if you would, do us a favor. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way y'all are notified every time we upload. And yes, we are on a hike. That is in our name and what we do. But understand, if hiking is not necessarily your thing, we do other adventures, as you can tell, if you've seen some of our other videos. Or if not, go back and look at some of our other videos. I know we got a fishing video coming up, which is the first time that I've ever done that on this channel. But, you know, actually, honestly, that's my mistake. You'll actually see the video before you see this, unless this is your first time watching. But, hey, unless we come up on something cool, a nice sight, or get some hugs, let's see what we get into. Woo! We are back. And we have made it to the falls. And, ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell, there's a down tree. So what do y'all think I'm fixing to do? Especially considering it goes right out there in the middle. This buddy right here is going to try not to fall, but he's walking the tree. Tony! Well, folks, that is the falls. Stonewall Falls. Not a massive fall by any means, but hey, for a good hike or a good bike ride, since you can bike ride this trail, that's a pretty good reward right there. Now understand, There's two ways in to this falls. There's, when you're at the gate, if you go clockwise, you will come to the falls first. If you go counterclockwise, it'll take you a minute to get to it because it's a 4-mile loop. But here we are. Here's the falls. If we see anything else cool, we'll be right back. I'm gonna take a minute, enjoy this with Tony. We'll see y'all soon. Couldn't help it. Climbed the rocks a little further, folks. Had to come back over here and do a little more. But besides, had to get a selfie inside the waterfall, right? Isn't that what you're supposed to do when you get views like this? See, look, even got Tony down here. But anyway, we're gonna go back to enjoying this for a second, and I'm gonna try not falling off one of these rocks. And we'll see y'all in just a bit. All right, well, Marcus made a mistake. And the reason I had said which way to come in and out, do it that way, because what did Marcus go and do? We went the wrong way, and we ended up at the falls before we did the rest of the hike. Which, after all the reviews, there's not much left on the trail other than a trail, other than some woods. So what we are choosing to do is we're going to hike the half-mile back out from the falls, and we're going to take y'all to see another falls not too far down the road. So today is going to be a little hiking and some pretty waterfalls. It happens, but you never know. Maybe we'll still get to see somebody, give some hugs, and let's see what happens. Maybe more falls means more people, because as of right now, we've excuse me, we've only passed 2 sets of people out here, and they walked right by us. So let's go to another falls and see what happens. All right, folks, we're fixing to take off to the other waterfall. But before we did, I figured I would come up here and explain to you how we missed going the direction we had initially wanted to go to do the entire trail. From where we're parked at, down said hill, where there's a gate, you pull up past the gate, pull up to this little parking area, and you will start counterclockwise right there. Go up the hill and just follow the trail, and it'll take you around the long way about 3.5 miles to the waterfall. Now, take that as a grain of salt. That's a steep hill to start up. And if you're not in for a long hike, do what we did by mistake. Start at the gate, and it'll take you straight to the falls. And I'll show you all that now. And the other reason I say take that with a grain of salt, we did not walk up that hill to 100% confirm, but based on what I read on All Trails and a couple other sites, they had mentioned going past the first gate and go counterclockwise from there at the start of the trail. So, and I can say with confidence that there is no other trail access beyond that point, because when you pass it, there's a big gate that you can't go around unless you're walking, but it does not have any trail markers suggesting such. So I would definitely assume to say that that is the spot. But here we go. We're back at the gate where we started at. When you come up here, follow directions, just keep following it up. It's about 1.5 miles long dirt road. You will come to a few parking spots like right here where you see that Mach 1. See the truck over there where we're parked at. You'll come to this gate right here, and it is exactly a 1/2 mile from this gate if you stay on the wide trail that we showed you earlier, and it will take you straight to the waterfall. So it's a half mile in, half mile out, and that's a short hike, which is why we're getting in the truck now, and we're going to take y'all over to another waterfall. Since we made the mistake, we're going to give you at least 2 waterfalls in one day. So we'll see y'all shortly.
I came before his throne. He touched my lips and made me whole. Exchanged my heart of stone for one of flesh and put life in my bones. And all I can say is, holy is he. Yeah, holy is he. He opened up my eyes and gave me spiritual sight. And all I can say is, holy is he. Holy is he. Holy is he. Holy, all I can say is, holy is he. Holy is he. Holy is he. Holy, all I can say is, holy is he. Holy is he. Now that my eyes have seen your light, I just wanna stay and behold your glory, Lord. And now that my eyes.
All right, folks, we are at Minnhaha Falls here off Lake Raven, and let's go see what we can get into. It ain't but 0.3, 0.4 miles in and out, so half mile to maybe 3/4 of a mile in and out. Let's see. Yes, guys, I don't know if y'all heard that, but Tony said this was gonna suck. Tony is having some knee issues, which is also one of the reasons, if y'all are wondering why we haven't done any longer hikes until we can get her in to see a specialist. We're trying to keep it moderate hikes for her. But anyway, if we bump into anybody, we will see y'all at the top unless we see something cool. Guys, it's a treacherous moat. Look, we have made it to Minnhaha. I'm just kidding. That's not it. We'll see you up there in a second. Okay, folks. I lied. We haven't made it to the top yet, but y'all should know by now. I noticed a tree, and well, I'm gonna walk it. And there is why. I don't know if y'all can notice, but right about there, Tony taking pictures. Keep going down. The tree that I came down. And I don't know if y'all can notice, but there is a black pipe right there, which tells me somebody's getting their water off this creek, which to me is cool. But anyway, we're gonna get back up this tree, meet up with Tony, and get on up to the top of this fall. We'll see y'all shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, Minnhaha. Absolutely stunning. I know it may be hard to hear me, it's loud, there's lots of people, but we've made it. It is gorgeous. For it to be called mini, it's really not that mini. It's kind of big. It's one of the bigger ones we've been to this year. But anyway, it's going to take a minute. Going to enjoy it with Tony. We'll see y'all in a minute. Folks, we are back, and as you can tell, it's quiet. We met an awesome couple. No hugs, but we did talk for about 15 minutes, kind of waiting for everybody to get out of here where we could get some really uninterrupted footage and photos. Look. Of course, y'all know it. She's taking pictures.
It's what I do, if you haven't figured that out by now.
So for everybody that may be like, why is Tony not always in it and you're filming? Well, Tony's doing what Tony does. Tony's taking pictures. I know you've heard us say this a time or two through all this, but honestly, this is absolutely one of the most gorgeous waterfalls we've been to. Stonewall earlier, easy hike, kind of rough to get to, but not a big waterfall. It was pretty. It was absolutely pretty. But this waterfall right here, Minnhaha Falls in Rabun County, close to Lake Rabun, guys, if you just want to waterfall hop, this is one you can't miss. Maybe a quarter mile in, quarter mile out. Not super hard, fairly easy. You got to come see this one, like straight up. Anyway, that's it for us. We're going to enjoy this for a minute, and then we're going to get out of here, and we'll talk to y'all shortly. All right, peoples. We is dead. We are done. Stick a fork in it. The lesson of today. Look at your directions better. Look at the data on the websites a little better. Figure out where you're going 100% before you go. Stonewall. Decent waterfall. Probably a really good trail if you're wanting to do a 4 or 5 miler. We didn't figure that out until the end. But it was a half mile in, half mile out. I will say this. Have a truck, have a Jeep, have something that's all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or at least high-centered. The hike, fairly easy for the fall. The drive-in is probably rougher than the hike. With that being said, Minnhaha Falls. Gorgeous, highly recommend. What do you say?
Absolutely amazing. I mean, the reward for the hike is outstanding.
And to be honest, the hike is only a half mile round trip in and out. 200 feet of elevation, I think is what my watch said, maybe 300. Not hard, short, so absolutely worth the reward on it.
The toughest part for some, if you're like me with knee issues, would be the stairs at the beginning, but once you're past that, you're golden.
Yep, I mean, fantastic hike.
The view right now, wish you guys could see this.
Yeah, we got the camera facing us, not toward the road, and we are coming over a mountain, and it is absolutely gorgeous up here. But anyway, like I said, Stonewall, if I had to rate it, 4 out of 10. Minnhaha, for me, 10 out of 10 for sure. Get out and check them both out. I hope y'all enjoyed this, but we're going to get off here now because the sun is beating in my face and I need to see where I'm going. You got anything, babe?
No, I'm good.
Well, that does it. So we will see y'all on the next one. But until then, remember, God loves you. We love you. And if you can't hug somebody, at least smile and wave. We'll see y'all on the next one.